I blew up at my husband. He lied and said my sister and her baby left when he was the one that kicked them out. Am I the a-hole?
Why are you lying?
Why you always lying?
My sister, 20, got out of a terrible relationship and moved in with me and my husband and brought her 5-month-old son. My sister was dealing with a handful of issues like postpartum depression. And I asked my husband if he'd be okay with her moving in. And he said, absolutely. Not just this, but he was the one who picked her up and brought her here. So it seems like he's like
on board,
fully in support. She stayed for 2 weeks and helped around the house. My husband started complaining about the baby crying, but a newborn is expected to cry, especially at night. Is this unknown information?
This is what babies do. They eat, sleep, poop, and cry.
He says it causes him stress, so I suggested that he put some earbuds in. But at that point, he just seemed frustrated and just said suddenly to forget it. And so I did. Last week, I had to go out of town to attend a friend's funeral without my husband. He said he wanted to stay with my sister to make sure she's okay. I returned home the next day and didn't find her or the baby at home. My husband said that she had contacted a friend in another town and wanted to move with them and left that morning. He handed me a letter from her claiming that it was written by her. This felt so odd, especially after reading the letter. So I called her phone many times, but it turns out that my husband found her phone and said she must have left it behind.
This seems weird.
This is getting weirder and weirder. I was worried and had no means of contacting my own sister and her baby to make sure they were okay. So I contacted relatives, but they knew nothing. Yesterday, I got a call from an unknown number and it was her. We talked and she told me that she didn't leave on her own, but my husband kicked her out after telling her she was no longer welcome and she needed to take responsibility for her decisions.
Oh my God.
I was in shock as she explained that she's not with a friend, but at a shelter and has no money. I waited till he got home and I blew up at him. He admitted he faked the letter and hit her phone, then argued that it's his house and he has a say, but he shouldn't have lied to me about my sister and causing her to be homeless. You think? He said I was being unfair and it was wrong to lash out at him for wanting peace in his home. I went upstairs and refused to argue anymore. I told him I'm going to pick her up tomorrow and he said he'd change the locks while I'm gone and I won't be allowed to bring her home. Jeez, this guy is like
nightmare. This is a nightmare.
I'm thinking of going to a hotel, but he kept saying that